What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm doing real good myself. Look, since we've been hearing about this $600 stimulus check that Congress came together and passed, for individuals to get in a married couple, which is $1,200, that was actually slashed into half from what they gave us, back. I think it was in March or April somewhere. You know, we know $600 ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? $600 is just enough, basically, probably to, in some places, won't make rent, or mortgage, and or groceries, and a utility bill, car note, etc. All right. Well, President Trump comes out of the woodwork now, and he's talking about giving a married couple $4,000, and an individual person $2,000. Now, that would be more like it, okay? But now, President Trump, and it said here, strange bedfellows. Trump and Pelosi pushing last minute coronavirus stimulus check increase that could send 5,200 to families. That would be even better. That will be even, a hell of a whole lot better. But something tells me that the devil is in the details if they were to even pass a bill like this. Let's get into this particular story right here and see what they're talking about, okay? Now, it says here, Trump hinted that he would veto the $900 billion stimulus relief bill, which included $600 payment, in a blistering Twitter address on Tuesday, a day after it was agreed. All right. Now, first of all, let's make something clear. I'm not down with none of the politics or Trump or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Biden, none of that stuff. But of course, I'm going to agree with Trump on this simply because, as the old adage goes, money talks and bullshit walks. Okay. See, but Trump is saying that this stimulus, bill that they passed, it's just too small, and I agree with him, of course, and I'm sure he won't find anybody else that won't agree with him, other than the ones that he's into it with. Okay. Now it says here, House Speaker called his bluff after Republican Party pushed back on spending. Let's get to the next. This is just them with their bullshit, but this is where is going to talk about it more in depth. The president complained that the current deal announced by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Sunday was a disgrace, complaining that it had taken forever. Pelosi appeared to call Trump's bluff, saying, "Let's do it." After months of talks with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Republican Party members calling for a smaller package. In his Twitter video, Trump criticized the bill, wasteful spending, and much more, and said left hard-working taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. See, he's appealing to the people. You can't argue against a person that's appealing to the people, man. To continue here, it says he said this amount was ridiculously low and that not enough money is given to small businesses and in particular restaurants whose owners have suffered so grievously in the bill. The president demanded that Congress strike the wasteful and unnecessary items from the bill and called on lawmakers to give individual Americans $2,000, which would give $4,000 to a couple. Now I'm down with that. I am down with that right there. Would help stimulate the economy big time. They can do it. After all, you're looking at people who send millions and billions of dollars out of this country to other countries, funding them, and only the Most High knows why in them. Okay? And again, I will say this. The devil's in the details on that too. All right. Now to continue here, if Trump successfully upped the individual payment to $2,000 for the individual and kept the $600 for child dependents, a family of four could pocket over $5,000. This sounds a lot better, y'all. Okay? To continue, this would delay sending out the coronavirus payments if the bill isn't signed today. However, after Trump reportedly planned to issue his signature immediately, send me a suitable bill or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. He raged during his address. GOP senators would also have to pass the House measure after previously rejecting a proposal for a $1,200 check for hard-hit Americans. Pelosi issued a response and pointed out that Republicans repeatedly refused to say what amount the president wanted for direct checks, noting that at last Trump has agreed to $2,000. Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor this week by unanimous consent. Let's do it, she said. This really sounds good, but I don't want to get my hopes too high. Other words, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay? But it basically, it's a better deal, of course. Now to continue right here, House Dems will pass the unanimous consent procedure on Christmas Eve, which will approve the $2,000 checks automatically unless a representative objects to the measure. Let's hope the representatives don't object to this. To continue, the bill will be passed by 359 to 53 in the House and 91 to 7 in the Senate, exceeding he 2/3 needed to override a veto if Trump chooses to do that. But this is the issue. Trump could wield a rare procedural weapon called a pocket veto to keep the bill from becoming law without affording lawmakers the opportunity to override his veto, giving it pass in both chambers with large majorities. This would involve the president keeping the legislation in his pocket and refusing to sign it as the end of a congressional adjournment looms. All right. Okay. Lawmakers passed the relief package late Monday night as it nears the end of its term. A president has 10 days, excluding Sunday, to either sign or veto a bill according to under Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution. Congress has to end its 116th session by, just say 12 o'clock at night. It says 11:59 -59 seconds. Just say 12 o'clock a.m. on January 3rd, which is known as adjourning sine die. All right. Any legislation that isn't law by then is considered dead and has to be raised again during the 117th Congress. So Trump could let the congressional clock run out of time. The White House still has yet to receive the bulky 5,593 page legislation. Because the enrollment process of going through Congress is still underway before it reaches the president's desk. Congress has to get the bill to Trump by December 23rd to avoid a pocket veto, and they can't amend the legislation unless they want to start over. Hopefully they play ball. Okay. To continue here, this would involve drafting an entirely new legislation package that would need to be passed by both chambers of Congress before Trump would see it, because this legislation also contains government funding. If it isn't law by December 28th, there will be a shutdown. Okay. The 5,593 page legislation, the longest bill ever, came together Sunday after months of tense talks between the GOP and Dems. Trump deemed the $1 billion and the Smithsonian National Gallery of Art funding, the $25 million to manage the invasion non-native Asian CARP, $566 million for FBI construction projects, and others to be wasteful spending. All right. Reacting to Trump's critical video, Majority Leader Stephen Hoyer agreed that House Democrats have fought for months to provide relief to the American people, which Republicans rejected at every turn. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. If they really, sometime, man, like I said, I'll be like, I don't think these motherfuckers really care. So, like, that's the reason why I say I'll believe this when I see it. Okay. But to continue, now that the president has argued to direct payments of $2,000, we will ask for a unanimous consent to pass bill this week to give Americans this assistance, Hoyer tweeted. There's something to do with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Also tweeted her support of Trump's statement. All right. Let's do it. She wrote. Reiterating Pelosi, Rashida Tlaib, and I already co-wrote the COVID amendment for $2,000 checks, so it's ready to go. Glad to see the president is willing to support the legislation. We can pass $2,000 checks this week if the Senate GOP agrees to stand down. Okay, GOP, stand your punk asses down so we can get that money. All right. In conclusion, right here, Trump fan Senator Lindsey Graham initially disagreed with Trump, called for more money, acknowledging that the current bill was imperfect but necessary to save jobs and lives. Now look, $600 ain't finna save no jobs and lives, okay? But to continue, appreciate the fact that Speaker Pelosi supports President Trump's idea to increase direct payments to $2,000 per person. He added later, the American people are hurting and The American people are hurting and deserve relief. I know there is much bipartisan support for this idea. He continued, let's go further. All right, so we see in the talks that it should be more. Let's see if they really give a damn that they go ahead and pass it and the GOP stands down. If they really care like they claim they do about the American people. Y'all gonna have to do something, because $600 is just not enough to stimulate the economy. Shit. Hell, some people spend that shit in a weekend. That can be gone. You know what I mean? But y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.